So here I am in the beautiful redwood spruce forest here in Northern California, in Trinidad. And to make good on that promise, here I am. Me, the most handsome guy in all the world. Welcome to my office. See? All this ivy? It's non-native species of ivy that just grow up and up and up and up all these trees. Well, they are parasitic, and in addition to receiving nutrients from the soil, they also cling into the trees themselves and cling in there and get nutrients from the trees, sapping the trees. So what I'm doing here is as you can see, coming through, this whole tree was covered with ivy, and I pulled it back, and I'm going to clear it out. These thick, some of them get rather thick. But anyways, this is where I'm working these days. This beautiful forest. That's where I am. This is where I work. Nobody to bother me. Got my own hours. This beautiful area. I keep saying beautiful, but you know, hey, that's the way it is. And here we go. Cleared all the ivy and whatnot, the blackberry side of this area right here. This is my little camp. Cleared all this area of the ivy from off the trees, and got a nice twinberry bush right here I managed to salvage up out of the way. It used to be on the ground, pampas grass. I grew up in a pampas grass forest, so I'm especially fond of these plants. This one's rather pathetic looking, but it will come back. Anyways, there we go. Right, all the way down here to the coastline itself. I haven't actually taken this particular path before. I usually go through the yard of this beautiful house. But, whoa, kind of a and this isn't even the best view of it because of these trees in the way, but yeah. It'd be great to have a zip line going out to that rock over there. Actually, I'm gonna get a better view. Down the garden path. Oh, now how's that? Would you like to spend your days having lunch right here? Maybe down on the beach, right? Isn't that beauty? Huh? Look at that. You can do anything you want with your life. You don't have to let people tell you what to do. You don't have to go with the status quo. You can have any kind of dream you want. Pursue it. Here we go. This is across the driveway from the woods over there that I just showed you. This is really neat. Been doing a bunch of weeding in this garden and whatnot, back here especially, and you get this great pond with the bridge. This is awesome. There's a froggy in there. There's a froggy. Where is he at? Oh, lost track of him. Yeah. Oh, there he is. There's another one sitting right up on that. Hey, froggy. Well, it's kind of blurry, but I don't really like being seen anyways. It's a cool rock. All kinds of landscape on it. Did a bunch of weeding up on there. Pretty cool, huh? And the garden path. You can turn left or right. I haven't been here at nighttime, so I don't know what it's like with these lights on. It probably looks pretty cool. I weeded this path, and all this other stuff was full of a bunch of crap that was invasive and everything. These nice raised beds. Cleaned up this trellis and whatnot, removed all the dead branches from the tree and everything, so it's going to grow back real nice. We've got more work that needs to be done back here. I haven't even looked back here yet. But yeah. Oh yeah. That looks like somebody else. Oh shit, it's like a whole lawn over there. Oh, pardon my language. I'm trying to keep this rated G. But anyway. There's a lot of nature going on here. A lot of flowers, a lot of butterflies, a lot of bees. I love it. You gotta have plenty of flowers for your bees on your property. And then here we got this path that meanders along next to the pond. Really great. You can see where I've weeded quite a... Oh, looks like somebody else dug some stuff and put in some irrigation after I've weeded. Nice. Yeah, I haven't even taken a walk down here. All these huckleberries. Cool. Little trickle of a waterfall. A friend of mine services this pond. Got me this connect for this job I'm doing right now. It's pretty great. Here's another view. Pretty awesome. Well, like I was saying down at the ocean, you can have any kind of dream you want. You know? I'll try to squeeze in without getting that other house. That rock out there. In the distance. This is the beautiful Northern California coast. What they call the Lost Coast. You know what? I'm not going to apologize for the camera shake. You guys have put a bunch of hours into seeing crappy movies and whatnot. And while this isn't a drama per se, or an action adventure movie, yeah, it's a walk. Oop. Maybe now it is. It's a walk up the garden path. You know what I mean? Everybody likes to take a walk up the garden path, right? In any case, I'll go ahead and give a sneak peek of some of this art that the landlady does. She, the owner, she does religious art. Really great stuff. There's something like 60 surviving World War II members in Humboldt County today. And she painted the portraits of, I think, out of 60, 56 of them, including one of my buddies who I played Dungeons and Dragons with once a week, his grandfather. And she owns this place. I don't know if I'm giving too much information or not, but a little bit of local history. Pretty cool. Anyway. Right here. This is what they've been doing with their plant material and throwing it off the end of the bluff over there where we were looking over the ocean, just tossing it over, and I suggested that I build them a proper compost pile that doesn't need to be turned. And I got an example of that on an article I can link to in the description of the kind of compost piles that I like to use, because while I'm not a lazy man, I like to do things the right way. In other words, I don't like to spend more time and energy doing anything than is necessary unless it's fun, you know. But I mean, while it can be fun to turn over a compost pile, I don't happen to think that kind of stuff is that fun. And here's one of my main reasons why is because, you know, I'm a real nature lover, right? That's why I'm out here. That's why I get paid to be out in a beautiful setting like this. I'm a real nature lover, and what happens when you get a compost pile, a big one like this, is probably not in this biome so much, but you'll get garter snakes laying eggs in there and other critters are living in there, and when you turn it over, it ruins that habitat, you know, and an entire generation of a species, at least in a small area, is basically destroyed. So you want to have a compost pile that is fed from the top, like all compost piles, and that is up off. Anyway, rather than try and describe it, I'd like to build one. I asked her if I could build one. She said she'd discuss it with her husband, so you can let me know. But in any case, I've got an example of one on the ecoculturevillage.org website, and the article kind of describes how it's done. And you know, we could call it the lazy man's compost pile, but really, I mean, who needs all that much compost anyways? I mean, it decomposes at its own rate is what I'm saying. It doesn't, you don't turn it over. So you don't disturb any of the critters that are growing in there or laying their eggs in there, like the snakes, like I previously mentioned and all that. It's just what I consider to be a kinder, more effective. I just get a better feeling about letting nature do the work. You know what I mean? When it's at all possible. In a situation like this, and you got ivy literally everywhere. It's growing everywhere. You see, it's non-native and stuff. Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to show you another species of plant that grows back here that sort of like has a similar carpet effect as the ivy. And haven't really taken a good look at it. I'm not sure if it's native or not. But, oh, here it is. Here it is. If anybody knows what this is, maybe they can tell me what it is in the comments. And you can see that the ivy is competing for the space of the nutrients and the available sunlight and moisture and whatnot. I mean, not the moisture so much, because this is what they consider to be a temperate rainforest. But you can see that this ivy has just gone crazy all over these trees. And I've already gone through here with the machete and gotten to most of it. I haven't pulled it off of the trees, but I have removed it. This is one I didn't quite finish. But yeah, I have, so you can see that on a lot of these trees I've already gone ahead and, actually not in this section of the forest, but what over here I've gotten to already. You can see that I got my work cut out for me, as they say, because you know, as long as it's their desire that this stretch of forest is free of ivy, you know, it's a task. By no means do I find it daunting. I find it very comforting and refreshing that I'm fortunate enough. Look at these, we got some, I guess this is holly. And I'll leave all the plants that look cool and stuff and that are native and everything, unless they're just like, I don't know. I envision some paths back here and whatnot where people can come and sit down on a bench or whatever, play cards at a table or something like that. But like I was saying, I consider myself not only to be, you know, the most handsome man in the world, or one of the top 10, and you know, I say that kind of stuff because I'm trying to sound funny while at the same time getting my little narcissism on. And I'm also, you know, single and getting older, getting up there. But handsome can mean many things. Good looking can mean many things, and it can be inclusive of things like my mindset. You know, a mindset that is I have the courage enough to maintain a sense of humility with regards to being able to learn and to be able to actually want or to desire, you know, a better life for myself and the lives of those around me. And I've noticed that attitude has taken me very far in life. It's given me a lot of great opportunities that in my younger years I wasn't able to really make the most of, or to even engage with, because of my shyness, which I still very much am shy. And that's, you know, another reason why I like working in places like this, because there's nobody out here telling me what to do. There's nobody out here wanting to engage in meaningless conversation while I'm trying to focus on my tasks and whatnot. I don't need to play psychotherapist to anybody. It's just a, you know, it's like a great thing. But anyways, trying to just show you around a little bit, and also take another look at it myself before I get back to it. This place is great, isn't it? It's like crap, man. I mean, wouldn't be surprised if you saw a dinosaur run through here or something. maybe that would be a little bit too far-fetched. But anyhow, the main point of this was, I don't know. The main point of this was, don't be afraid to think in terms of what you really want from life, and the kind of situations that you really want to find yourself in, and not having to make compromises with. I mean, you got to make compromises as family if you're that young. You know, you 18 or younger, under the age of 18, you still need to do what you're told. But when you become an adult, you start having the flexibility to experiment with, you know, how you feel about what are your real dreams, and like what will they think. Like, no, unless you're doing something wrong, you know. You don't need to worry about what they think. What makes you happy is going to make you a blessed individual. It's going to give you all kinds of wealth, not only financial, but, you know, great scenery and the mindset can be immensely of value, not only to yourself, but the people who you don't even talk to, but who see you. you know, once a week or in town or wherever, whatever, you know, they see that. They pick up on it too, and it's a value to them as well, for reasons that we don't really nail down scientifically, but that we know, you know, by way of psychological, you know, just psychology. It's an art, psychology, really. It's our culture, or lack thereof, or the great thing about it, this country, America, I guess, is that we have so many different influences that our culture, while we're not able to experience it 100% and stagnate and whatnot, or become in a lull, we got all these great influences, you know, like growing up, I was watching Bruce Lee movies, inventing my own martial arts style. Nobody could beat me, and it was really great. But that's what I'm saying, is like, don't be afraid to do what you want to do. Just, you know, I've found, and I've always felt that it was wrong, that if it impedes upon others, or if it puts others in an uncomfortable situation, then don't do it that way. I mean, you know what I mean? Like I want to be the way I want to be, and I can't do that around other people. So I found a neat little place like this, and this is an opportunity out here to get some real hours in. I mean, look at all this ivy. Look, I have the potential to be out here for weeks, dude, you know, getting paid a good price. And look at this tree. Look at this old tree right here. Sorry, I keep jumping around topic to topic, but let's just, you know what I mean? Let's, like, these trees can probably say it. Not better than I can, or, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to sound like a weird hippie or anything, but, I mean, that's pretty awesome. Like, you know, like, I don't know. Those of you who do role-playing or, like, fantasy adventure movies and stuff, these kinds of settings are pretty cool. I don't know. Anyway. Having the courage, or whatever it takes, to just be true with yourself. And oh, look at this tree. This is like a big, see, look at that. It looks like it's an oak or something, but it's actually a massive, and I say oak because the branches are coming off, you know, but it's a massive conifer of some kind that has just diverged here and gone, like, all over the place. Look at that. Sending a branch. I'm trying to get a good look. I know I always do this when I have a camera. I always move the camera around way too much. But anyway, here, I'll just, like, that's a good shot right there. Look at that. It goes way up. It's part of this tree right here. Pretty cool. Pretty amazing. I mean, you find all kinds of things walking around in these forests out here in the north coast of California. It's pretty cool. It's a really nice day. Yeah, look at all that. Anyway, I probably bored myself to death too, and I just don't realize it, and probably should just get back to work. But anyhow, I just wanted to share a few, you know, spontaneous thoughts, and, you know, what I'm doing out here today, and probably will be for a little while, as long as they're willing to spend, you know, their money to have somebody do this. I'm not sure how far the property line goes, but it goes, like, you can see like all kinds of, I mean, just you can see the ivy way back there. Anyway, oh yeah, and there's a bunch of wild cucumber that's growing around here too, and it's so fragile that I can't help but pull it down while it grows in the same place as the ivy grows. Anyway, if you guys like videos like this, and I don't know, where I'm just not really doing anything, but just kind of just showing you around and talking to you, just, you know, spontaneously, I sometimes think I do a lot better when there's not a camera in front of me. When I'm just walking around talking to myself, you know, like arguing with the voices in my head or whatever, I feel like those moments are the ones that I wish I had a camera. So I mean, this is pretty mild and incoherent and stuttering, for lack of a better word, in comparison to those spontaneous moments. Oh, but here's another shot of that tree. It's pretty cool. Look at that. Pretty cool. That branch coming off there. Got some kind of red berry going on this tree over here. Oh, here's another one where I pulled the ivy away. I'm gonna eventually get all that. You don't need to pull it down off of here, because even though it does take some nutrients off of here with these little feelers or whatever they are, you don't need to pull them down, because once it these little things, these little rootlets, once you pull it away from the tree, these still green parts up here will just die away, and they'll turn brown, and eventually they'll fall off in the wind and the rain. Not this part so much, but some of these trees over here, you can see it leaves like these roots going up, and it's kind of cool looking, actually. But yeah, this tree branch, cool, going on out there. Yeah, look at this. One of these trees was so dead over here yesterday, I pushed it over. I was weeding around it, trying to get the ivy off, and I was like, oh, here it is. I was like, you know what? I'll just push this thing over. Just pushing on it, the top part fell down, and then I pushed it some more, and this part fell down. But yeah. Good times. Good times in the woods. I'm trying to find where it looks like. We got some roses out here. Some wild roses out here. Right. See, like this. And then, so I pulled this away from here yesterday, but you see the green parts, and you see the parts that were there from before, many years before. And they just go up, and those things will stay on there. On some trees, like this one, I mean, it looks kind of cool, you know? There's no real reason to take it down. I mean, at that point, it's not sucking any of the nutrients out of the tree. It's just leaving behind its skeleton, kind of looking cool. Whereas that one, still got some green on there. Pull that off around here. Already did this tree, but it's not just enough to pull these away from the tree. This, like, all this stuff needs to be not only pulled up, but the roots need to be taken out of the ground as well. Oh, here it is. Here's some wild cucumber that I kind of couldn't help but to pull down. It grows around here. Not like crazy, but it grows. I don't know. Okay, people, thanks for watching, and you know, just like any other YouTuber or whatever, I don't really consider myself a YouTuber. I barely do any videos at all, and my channel, like, I put all kinds of things on there, video games like Rust or whatever, and like product reviews, like I'll take a knife out into the woods or whatever. It's always fun. Put it through the paces, see if it's any good, or just kind of just standing in front of the camera and talking about a topic, or just sort of freestyling like right now. And once again, I've been thinking about kind of carrying my camera around with me, doing some freestyling, and this is like the first one I ever really done. And like I said, it's not anywhere near as good or, you know, coherent and consistent and eloquent and on topic as I usually am when I'm not having to hold a camera and do this and that and all this and that. But anyway, it's good practice and it's good experience, and I'm glad for this opportunity to experience this area and to work here. Hopefully I'm going to be here for quite a while. And you know, I was also eager to say, hey, look, everybody, look at this. This is pretty cool. You can do whatever you want with your life. You know, I grew up riding horses. I've raised pigs, you know, on a commercial scale. I've done all kinds of things, you know, driven a truck, you know, I'm like a big rig. And, you know, with anything in life, I mean, you're going to find certain things that you're going to have to make compromises concerning, like pig shit stinks, you know? I mean, like, come on, that's not a lifelike career choice for me. Driving trucks, traffic, all this and that. But what I'm getting at is that if you don't let go of the idea, like always stay true to the idea that you can have what you want from this life, you really can. Well, maybe this is a better angle. Like you can have whatever you want from this life. But it's not going to come to you instantaneously. It's got to be something that you believe that you can have and that you're really looking forward to having. I'm not trying to say, you know, dial it in and the universe will grant it to you. You know, I have a science background. I got a degree in science. I also have a degree in the arts. So I'm fairly well educated. I'm not going to say that there's any, you know, genuine proof of this, but just like anything else, the attitude that you have, the self-awareness and the way that you express yourself with your surroundings, and the way that you sort of acknowledge what it are that your desires are, and, you know, I mean, I want life to be awesome, you know, like, I want life to be so fucking awesome for everybody, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be reincarnated in a cool place on the earth, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, I'm glad I'm not like living in Afghanistan right now or whatever, but what if everybody was so like awesome and so in tune with things that they had everything they wanted and they weren't deceived into believing that conflict and these weird like dysfunctional relationships and stuff is the way to go? I guess what I'm getting at is once you get to be an adult, you can leave all that nonsense behind. You know, it's still not to call your mother, even if she was mean to you or whatever. I don't know your story, but what I'm saying is you don't have to go with the Joneses. You don't have to go with the flow. You don't have to go with the status quo. You don't have to be like, there's good and evil in everybody, you know? You know what I mean? You can focus in and dial in and have exactly what you want. And this isn't living, breathing proof of that. I'm not trying to say, hey, look at me, I'm a success. I've always been successful in my life. Everything I've done, I've been good at. But the key thing is that everything I've done, I've enjoyed doing. As soon as I don't like it anymore, I move on to something else. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's not that I don't like continuing to talk in front of the camera, but I'm going to move on to something else right now. I'm going to go back to my weeding and whatnot, because I got to get back to work. I mean, I don't have to. I don't even have to be here today, but it's a nice thing to show up and get things done, you know? So anyway, thanks you guys for watching, and peace.